I'm here with the very, very beautiful Nye Bevan, the one and only new release from David Austin Roses this year for 2021, and named after the Labour politician responsible for establishing the NHS here in the United Kingdom. £2.50 from each rose sold from David Austin actually goes directly to the NHS, so this rose is for a really, really good cause. And although this is not a rose review, because obviously this rose is far too young and I haven't had it long enough to actually review it by its growth habit or its performance, what I wanted to do is just continue to introduce this rose to you and give you my first opinions. Now, David Austin is saying this is a very small and compact plant. This arrived around my birthday in the third week of May. I've had it in a pot and I'm yet to plant it in the ground. I've been watering it and looking after it, bringing it into flower so I could bring you this first glimpse at it in bloom. It is the most beautiful, soft yellow colour, a very, very difficult colour to describe. It's got a lovely antique, very pale yellow flower that brushes out almost to a pale cream. You can see this one here is literally just about to fall apart. There we go, the petals dropping away there, and it has completely and utterly faded out to the most beautiful heavy cream colour. The scent on the rose is really, really very pleasant. Described by David Austin Roses as a mid-mirth, but I'm feeling this is actually a very, very strong flower, and I've been really pleased that I brought this into the conservatory to bring it into flower today, and now it's warmed up the conservatories at about 24 or 25 degrees. It is really, really very pleasant. The other thing to note about this particular rose is that it's got lovely dark green foliage of a matte green that sets off the rose colour really, really very pleasantly. The petal formation, can you see there? The shape of the petals is very, very different to anything we've seen from the David Austin Roses before. A very, very different configuration to the petal shape. You can see almost sort of a pair of cat's ears there on the end, giving it the rose a very, very different formation on the actual bloom. David Austin are saying this rose is very small and compact. So far it's stayed very much in its lane. It's produced this large array of flowers, so there's 3 or maybe 4 spires of flowers coming off of it, although it's still in its pot. The first flush of blooms looks like it's going to be really, really strong, and it's going to put on a hell of a show. So this rose has an awful lot of potential. David Austin is saying this reaches around 3.5 to 3.5 feet wide and 3.5 feet tall, which means it's going to be absolutely perfect for putting in a pot if you're quite limited for space. But this beauty is Nye Bevan. I'm really pleased to be able to introduce it to you. Although this is not a review at this stage, maybe I'll be able to review this after I've had it for a full year here at North Lodge. But so far so good. Nye Bevan from David Austin Roses is looking absolutely beautiful, and we'll have to wait to see next year whether it makes my top 10.